And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A first carry for the Hall of Famer, Barry Sanders. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, eluding the tackle. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now they toss out wide to Sanders. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Barry Sanders, 59 yards. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down, Vic. Oh, he cannot get away. Down goes Vic. Calais Campbell able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Marcus Allen, who won a Super Bowl MVP with the Raiders. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your pass.
And got his man complete. Past the 20. And touchdown! A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
That appeared like any routine NFL quarterback, but it was Michael Vick from the pocket, throws a touchdown pass. And I just think about the transformation throughout his career. From Atlanta, where he would take off and go at just about the drop of a hat and turn defenses into mush. And then by the end of his career in Philadelphia, where he completed pass like we just saw from the pocket, yet still had those great legs. When necessary, they help get him out of trouble.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He's got daylight, the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Barry Sanders with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2. Vick now. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone as the two-point conversion is successful. Butker now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now a carry for Allen. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Here's Michael Vick. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They will indeed go for it. Vick going up top. He's got a man. Complete. 20. 10, and all the way in for the touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. The offense going to stay on the field as they will line up and go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone as they will indeed claim a 1-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Garden.
By 90, by 20. 95-3.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, twisting away. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Barry Sanders on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Here we go now as they will again try for 2. Throwing Vic. And that is caught for the 2 points. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
This will be taken in at the 1. Breaks a tackle. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And here now the offense heading back out there. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Vic will look to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Avery Williamson leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters. And this is what he's always had, and that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Like 20!
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this.
Like 20!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Dante Hightower on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Now Vick on fourth down. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
Wait 20! Wait 90!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Avery Williamson in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Second down, Vick. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Third and long for Vick. Going to throw right side here, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Vick operating on first down. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or he keeps hitting the calculator, but my goodness, what a start he is off to.
Now Vick stripped. He lost the football. But fortunately, another offensive player quick to react, and they will indeed retain possession. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Another shot from the one on 2nd and goal. Vick on the sneak. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. This clearly the final play of the half, but no field goal attempt. They're going for it with 3 seconds remaining. They come out here in the eye. Vick on the sneak, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Michael Vick in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. This fielded at the 2. Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Butker now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw for Vick. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Here's Allen. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Vick on 2nd down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
He's going to take a shot for the into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the 8-time Pro Bowler, Steve Atwater. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Nice 24.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Hey, let's go.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Deion Sanders, the Hall of Famer, with a pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line.
And an interception in the end zone for Deion Sanders. That takes me back to, I believe, his last game at Florida State, a Sugar Bowl game against Auburn. The last play of the game, he switched assignments to make sure he...
Oh, he cannot get away. Down goes Vick. Avery Williamson able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. That was 2nd down throw for Vick. And he's got Shockey. And he will finally be taken out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 54 yards.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
He'll get it up the middle. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Vic readies to throw. He may try and run for this. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
And now once again, they'll line up to go for 2. They're going to try and run. And he is not going to get to the goal line. And for the first time here this afternoon, they are thwarted on the 2-point conversion. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. Spins away. And now running right through it. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Another run with Sanders. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th.
I know the defenders are getting up off the ground, heaving a sigh of relief. They just held Barry Sanders to a -yard run. But Barry holds the NFL record for most carries for negative yardage. The all-time leader, 1,114 yards lost on his carries. But he balanced it with over 15,000 yards gained when he ran the football.
I think the pros outweigh the cons. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. A 1st down throw coming for Vic. He's going to look deep down the field. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to, you and your brothers, just take the broom to you and send you out to your backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like he's under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Lawrence Taylor leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. Now here's Vic. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Deion Sanders. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now. On third down, it's George. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Michael Bannon. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll run with Allen. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up second and 10. They stay on the ground with Allen. And an alley to run. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now Allen. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Now the Raiders are going to use another timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Vick. Open man, it's Jeremy Shockey. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
And we'll see if they go back to base. On 1st and 10, here's Vic. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught inside the 25. And he's able to get this way down deep into enemy territory. Vic and T.O. hook up on a big one. 57 yards. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can...